Hi, my name is Nicholas Hill. I'm the Director of Enablement at Crunchbase, and I'm excited to show you how you can use Crunchbase's Salesforce Enrichment to enrich your accounts and ultimately make better decisions about your sales cycle, forecasting, strategy, and more. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So first, what is the problem that Crunchbase Salesforce Enrichment is looking to solve? Well, today, most Salesforce data is incomplete. You have incomplete account fields. You're trying to report and understand your ICP, your sales cycle, your revenue, but ultimately you're doing that without the proper information or buying signals. And second, your reps who are typically working in Salesforce are having to go across multiple sources in order to research accounts outside of Salesforce. So these are the two big problems that Crunchbase's enrichment is designed to address. Let's talk about how we do that. First, with Crunchbase's Salesforce Enrichment, you will automatically enrich over 50 fields within every account page in your CRM. So there's 50 plus live data fields, things like description, funding, firmographics, growth signals, news insights, and more. And this allows for much faster account research across your team. Second, you'll be able to prospect and prioritize directly within your CRM. So not only will you have the Crunchbase iframe so that you can search Crunchbase from within Salesforce, but you'll also be able to push accounts and verified contacts directly into your CRM from Crunchbase. And then finally, the real power comes from the reporting and the triggered workflows. So you'll be able to use some of our trends and usage dashboards to understand what's converting, optimize your ICP, and measure impact. You'll be able to build reports based on that enriched data, and you'll be able to trigger Salesforce workflows based on new events, such as funding or growth events. So what does this look like in practice? Well, first, let's take a look at an example of an account page. So here we can see all of the different filled in fields for an account page. So here I see this is the organization Stripe. I can see the number of founders, employees, acquisitions. I can see all of their funding information, including the number of funding rounds they've raised. I get detailed information with the description of this company, but also all of the investors that are currently involved, and I can click these links to learn more. And then finally, I get the category, industries, and sub-industries. I can see kind of the latest investment and funding rounds raised, all of the information that I could want from a firmographic or financial standpoint. And I should mention that our product team is continuously adding new fields to our Salesforce enrichment. In fact, we just added some unique prediction and insight fields so that you can start to see when a company is predicted to grow or raise funding. Now, let's dive in a little bit more. So this obviously helps our account executives when it comes to account research, but let's also talk about what you can do once you have this information for all of the companies within your CRM. And the real benefit here is in the reporting. So one of the reports that I can show you today is this sales growth by company revenue range. What I'm doing here is I'm looking at, based on the company's revenue range, you can see the revenue ranges here on the top right, how many of these companies have I sold in each quarter? So I can start to see some of the trends for the revenue ranges that I'm going after. There are also three unique insights that we can pull when it comes to the companies that we're doing business with. The first is, who are we winning with? Who is most likely to buy our product or platform? So here I can go in and I can say, well, based on the employee size of the company, what is our win rate? And we can start to see that by far, we tend to win the most when it comes to this 100 to 250 employee size. But I can see the exact numbers of what we've sold within these different employee size amounts. And I can see that same win rate when it comes to funding stage. So what funding stage is the company in when we sell to them, and by their revenue range. Now, what this allows me to do is quickly start to prioritize the companies that are within these revenue ranges, within these employee counts, etc. Now, the second insight I can do is take a look at the average sales cycle. So when I do win with these companies, how long does it take me to win? And I can do that again by employee size, by funding stage, and by revenue range. So not only am I getting information about what the likelihood of winning with that type of company, but I can also start to improve my forecasting by saying, well, what is the revenue range or what is the sales cycle for this revenue range, employee count, etc. And then the last insight I can glean is, when we do win, how much do we win? So I can come in here and I can say, well, for companies above 100K, I've won 48 million. For 10 to 50K, it's been 26 million, et cetera, et cetera. So these are the different types of insights that I can glean now that I have a fully enriched CRM. And this becomes incredibly powerful when it comes to strategizing, identifying ICP, and ultimately choosing where to prioritize your reps' time. So you can see that the amount one, of course, we can do that by employee size, by revenue range as well. But ultimately, these are the takeaways. You can use Crunchbase's Salesforce Enrichment to give quick data-driven insights into your business. These insights can be used to improve your forecasting, your sales strategy, and your account research across your revenue org. And ultimately, I would encourage you, if any of this looks interesting, to speak to a member of our sales staff so that they can take a look at your exact tech setup, your CRM, and how you have accounts structured, and ultimately give you some recommendations and show you how Crunchbase might be able to fit your specific needs. Thanks.